I'm sure some of you guys enjoy watching Bert Kreischer content, right? You love it, right? I'm sure some of you guys love it. I know I love it. So I was listening to Tiger Belly with Bert Kreischer recently. Just came out just today, fresh, brand new on the fucking grill. And Bert took offense. Bert mentioned once again the fact that he got offended. He got personally offended when Ari Shaffir told him that one time during Two Bears One Cave that he makes everything about him. So that whole conversation is still resonating with him today, you know. He's still having a hard time basically accepting the fact that he makes everything about him. Really interesting, by the way. That one comment from Ari Shaffir, you make everything about you, has really, really irked Bert. I know he's joking a little bit in this clip, but I feel like the reason why he keeps bringing it up is because it kind of hurts. Let's play the clip.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
But Peter brought vodka.
Shit.
Anyway, here, keep going. So wait, see what the average rating was. What the rating was on.
It seems like the top tier folks were all getting $500,000 per episode by the end.
$500,000 per episode.
That's
great.
That's a lot.
Hello. Wow. What's the point you're getting to, Bert?
My point is, if they're getting, thank you. If they're getting,
nice little bit of Por Osos branding there. Did they buy the Por Osos themselves? Did Bert bring a bottle of Por Osos for the team and then they brought it out in a organic way to shill the Por Osos? Or did they go and specifically buy the Por Osos in order to lubricate one Bert Kreischer so he crashed out some more? Who fucking knows? Who fucking cares?
I mean, I don't know. I think Modern Family, I think they were pulling in a high rating when no one was watching television.
Maybe 10 million, maybe. Right? It was about 10 million. 10 million.
10 million is a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, but
do you know Last Comic Standing, the year I did it?
Yeah.
My episode was 13 million people.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, and I'll tell you what, 13 million people, you get recognized.
Yeah.
I was on that night. It aired that night, and I was flying. I had Georgia. On the episode I did, I said, I'm pregnant, we're having a baby, I really need this. And then I got booted, that episode.
Yeah.
And that was it aired on a Wednesday night, I think.
Yeah.
I think it aired on Wednesday night. And I flew Thursday to go to Miami Improv, and it aired like Wednesday or Tuesday, I guess. And I got so recognized in the bar at the American Airlines. Everyone bought me drinks.
Yeah, good point, Ruben Rivera. Bert being the reason Sober October is over hurt Bert too. No, exactly, 100%. It still stings. It's funny because if I'm not mistaken, they record those shows, like they bank those shows, innit? Two Bears, One Cave. So that Ari Shaffir show could have been recorded in fucking February, January or something, and he's still mentioning it now. So clearly it's stinging him because he's done this show recently because he's promoting his Netflix special. So he's still talking about it. So definitely that shit resonated with him and definitely fucking cut at his core.
Drinks, and everyone's like, hey, did you have the baby? And I was like, I just had her. And they're like, oh, let's see pictures. And I was showing pictures.
Look at that.
It was 13.
You know who says that? Narcissist. Me.
Oh, do you know what? I had this fucking Ari Shaffir on my podcast with Tommy.
Yeah.
And Ari's like,
sociopath.
Yeah. Oh.
Sociopath. Yeah.
I pull up the traits of a sociopath and we'll diagnose Ari.
Yeah.
But Ari said to me casually, and I think he's just trying to fuck with me, but he goes, well, you make everything about yourself. And I got really in my head about it. And I was like, and then I was like saying to Leanne, I was like, it's like, maybe I'll talk about this in therapy. Do I make everything about yourself? She goes, yeah, but you're a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
Like, everything's about yourself.
That's weird.
And she goes, wait, didn't Ari shit on a pizza box to win an election? Or that was, I shit on a pizza box to win an election.
He shit on my car.
You know how wild that is? Do you know how wild that is? That Bert has no self-awareness at all. Because on paper, somebody saying to Bert Kreischer, you make everything about yourself, it's almost like a backhanded compliment, really. Because that's what he does. So, like, it surprises me that he's so offended. That somebody said he makes it about himself when he does make everything about himself. That's almost like his brand. Interrupting, making everything about himself, going on tangents and never finishing a story, right? Or telling shitty stories. That's part of his like brand. Some people like him. I'm sure the fans that actually watch Bert Kreischer, that follow his podcast, Bertcast and Two Bears, One Cave and everything else he does, Something Burning, I'm sure they enjoy that thing. The same things that we hate about him, his fans probably love it. So it's surprising that he gets so offended at somebody saying you make it all about yourself, which is the most milquetoast, normal insult he could ever receive. Because it's the truth. It's an observation. Like he's fat, like he has a red face. You make it all about yourself. It's true. Like I played a clip the other day at some stream where Tom is telling some story and Bert just tells a story that's similar to that story instead of asking a question. Like a normal person, if you were in a conversation with somebody and they said, oh my God, I crashed my car. Oh shit, what happened, man? That's what a normal conversation would be. It would Bert, if someone told him they crashed their car, he said, oh my God, you never guess what? I also crashed my bike. It's like, bro, like, what is this? Like, who talks like that? So clearly he's a bit, tapped in the head with that regard, but he gets offended by that. And the other thing that's really funny, which I also have realized over time, especially as I've become older, it's very rare that a piece of shit person who's married to somebody that seems nice, it's very rare that they're both, that the nice person isn't also a piece of shit in their own way, if that makes sense. Because for the longest time, people would look at someone like Leanne Kreischer and think, oh my gosh, she's so lovely. But then you look at Bert and you're like, hold on, how are you married to this guy? How are you married to this freak? Like, how is it possible? Like, how? Obviously, the money comes involved, the fame comes involved, but there's a part of her that's also a little bit similar to Bert, which is the enabling. When he comes home and says, oh my God, Ari Shaffir told me that I make it all about myself. She's like, no, babe, you don't. You're just a stand-up comedian. You do nothing wrong. You're perfect. Now you realize why they're together. Now you realize why she seems to be chill, why she doesn't seem to care that much about his drinking, about his health, about the shit he says, about him being delusional. That's now you understand why they are a perfect couple, because she enables him, And I'm assuming it helps because her enabling him probably makes sure that fucking black Amex card is constantly available. So I understand why she does it, but if you're ever under any confusion as to why they're together, you saw it from that clip right there. But I'm just confused. It confuses me. It really confuses me that Bert Kreischer honestly got offended because Ari Shaffir says he makes it all about himself when he does. That's like one of his main traits, making every conversation about himself.
But he's just shit to renounce his
Not
special.
just a pizza box, he shits everywhere.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, that's a good point. Big up Young Old Vibes. Some women just like to mother their spouses. I don't know, maybe it's natural. Yeah, so maybe it's not like a enabling thing. Maybe it's just more so like a maternal. I want to look after you. So anybody that comes after you, I'm jumping in front of them. Yeah, I'm the mother hen type of thing. Maybe. But I just think if you're in a relationship with somebody and they have tendencies to make it all about themselves, usually if they're doing it to their friends, they're doing it to you. So in my rational brain, I'm like, hold on. If somebody came to me and said, oh my God, myself, I might say, babe, you actually do make everything about yourself. I want to take this opportunity to raise some issues that I'm having without communication. Maybe not the best idea in general, but I think enabling or this, or not kind of addressing those issues isn't the right way to go about things. Especially if you love somebody, you want the best for them. So you want to be honest, even if it hurts them, even if it hurts you, or in the end of a relationship, you'd rather be honest about it. So the fact that she's not being honest and saying, yeah, you do have a problem about making it all about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Psychopath or sociopath? Who do we do first?
What do you mean? Me?
No, would you want, okay, who do you think the closest to a sociopath is?
Big up Chris Mack. Ari shoved the announcement of his upcoming specials up his rear and pooped them on a cardboard box at last Skankfest. Yeah, that's a little bit too white guy. That's a little bit too white boy humor for me. I like my white boy humor, but that's a little bit too white boy humor for me. I can't do that shit. I can't do that. I really can't do that. I can't.
Ari.
Okay.
And psychopath.
Let's run it. Psychopath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's that clip. Moving on. Next clip I want to show you here is Bert and Bobby. As you can see here, Bobby Lee are, let's see, Bert and Bobby on Joe Rogan having powerful energy. Let's skip ahead here. They talk about Rogan. They mention Rogan very, very, very briefly around here.
Okay. All right. The next.
Remember that one time we were in Mothership, you and I, and Joe was writing feverishly, and we're just sitting there. And it's like no one was talking, And you just whisper to me, you go, I feel uncomfortable. And I go, I know, it's just weird. You know what I mean? Because he has, I love Joe Rogan, but he has this power almost.
Yeah.
Does it feel, do you get nervous around him?
No.
Okay.
I don't get nervous around him, but
X of doubt.
but I definitely know what you're talking about with his power. He's a really intense dude.
He's an intense dude. Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine being in the green room of a comedy club and Rogan's just in there writing jokes? Like, because I guess Rogan approaches comedy like he approaches like any type of fitness activity, sports, whatever, right? He's just intense. So he approaches writing jokes like hitting a heavy bag. So he's like sitting there. Okay, then he said, women are like, men are like, DNT man, weed man. You know, he's sitting there feverishly writing away, hammering away at a joke. You know, taking it very seriously, repeating, talking to himself, repeating his lines in the mirror, shadowboxing as he's repeating his lines, doing spinning wheel kicks, doing his spinning wheel kicks, practicing some of his chokes, practicing submissions on one of those little fucking, you know, mannequin type of things while he says his jokes, And all these comedian types, they're all like layabouts. They're all like, you know, functional drug addicts, alcoholics. They just want to party and get loose. But it's his club, it's his green room, so you just shut the fuck up a bit. And also you want to pretend like you're also a serious comedian. So you just like, you know, you also sit down, you get your phone out, you pull out your notepad, you start scribbling. I find that hilarious. Rogan very seriously sitting in a green room with a bottle of water, just fucking with his headphones on, just writing jokes. Super intense, not looking up one time. And everyone in the room quiet because they don't want to get kicked out of the green room. Big up NJ Ranger.
MFS telling about Joe like he's Saruman the White, man face bombing emoji.
Like he's Surum. I don't know who that Suruman White is, but NJ Ranger. Sorry, I missed that one. That's over my head. I don't know who Suruman White is, unfortunately. Is that another Caucasian? Is that Caucasian humor? My Caucasian humor fucking arsenal. My library's not that dense, my friend. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who Suruman White is, but big up blood clot NJ Ranger. Oh, sorry. Salman. Oh, sorry. Oh, fucking hell, I forgot. Big up Shades Cow. Appreciate you. Thank you for the gifted membership.
After 4 hours of intense comedy writing session, Rogan has come to the profound conclusion that weed should be legal and trans people might actually be people with rights.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Assad disease. After 4 hours, those trans people are kind of all right, you know? They're kind of all right. Yo, big up Shades Cow too. Appreciate you. Big up Blood Clot Shades Cow. Thank you for the gifted memberships, my friend. Thank you for the gifted membership. Big up. And you're from the UK. Yo, allow me, man. Allow me. I'm not from the UK. I'm from Angola. Kaboka Karadu. I'm from Angola. I'm not from the UK. Anyway, let's continue. Next clip. Bert and Bobby Lee try and judge if Ari Shaffir is a sociopath.
Yeah.
All right, Ari. Next.
Tend to be successful.
Okay, pass. Dishonesty. No, he doesn't have that one. He is the most honest.
He is very honest. Yeah.
He's painfully honest.
Manipulative behavior, narcissism, and superficial charm.
No,
he doesn't have that.
Okay, next go to sociopath.
You read it.
Lack of remorse, but guilt and empathy may be present in some cases.
Yes, 100%.
Some emotions are felt, rage, but are shallow and fleeting.
Yes!
Rage.
Yes!
Yeah.
May form close attachments to one or few individuals. Yes! Consistent, irresponsible, and repeated violations of law. Yes! Constant lying and deception. No.
Deception, maybe?
No,
There's some deception. No, I don't think so. I think he has got the deception. He's a deceiver, dude. He does shadow play.
Did you know what was in your drink when he gave it to you?
Yes!
Very good.
Okay, all right.
So he's a sociopath.
All right, pull up narcissist.
Yeah.
Let's find how to identify a narcissist.
Also, we want to play this game too.
What?
We're gonna call him at the same time. See who's more important to him. All right. So, but let's get our phones. We'll do it now. Let me get his phone number.
Let me skip ahead a little bit. Skip ahead a little bit.
They tell.
We self-diagnose each other?
Okay, we answer honestly, and then they tell the truth.
By the way, this is becoming like a bit of a bit now because I think they realized that everybody on the internet is psychoanalyzing them, especially Bert. So this is not sincere. This is not coming from a place of like trying to understand themselves better by trying to change. This is all just kind of playing into the meme, playing into the troll, playing into the insults. Yo, big up Fetty Wap Pharmaceuticals. Appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a member of the Random Show. Thank you for becoming a member of the Random Show. Remember, if you want to join, link is down below. We're trying to hit 1,000 members by the end of the fucking year. Let's fucking go. Big up Fetty Wap Pharmaceuticals. Like I said, this is not sincere, not coming from a real place. They're just trying to lean into the joke and also rage bait a little bit. Rage content-y type of thing. It's not like a real thing. So don't think they're being sincere. Don't think they're being serious. They're just shooting the shit. They know full well that they are all raging narcissists, but do they give a shit? No.
That's a fun game.
Peter?
And you can get involved too, Jules, just based on what you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Self-importance.
I do it to myself?
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm very humble.
Let's go to the judges.
All right, next.
This is gonna hurt.
Next.
This is gonna
Wait,
no,
what's self-importance? Google the definition of self-importance.
No, we know you know what self-importance is.
But I think yes.
Are you NCP? No,
Okay.
NPC. Are you
NPC.
No, you're the main character.
I'm ass to mouth.
Do you believe you're the main character in your game? Yes or no?
Yeah. I actually can't believe. I actually wonder if you guys are actually all alive.
Right.
If you have souls the way I have a soul, or if I'm
we
special.
see you move funny.
Here we go. An exaggerated estimate of one's own importance.
Oh.
Do you feel a little exaggerated?
No, I think it's pretty accurate. I'm fucking dope as shit.
And you know, me too.
I'm fucking cool as shit.
I'm cool as
listen,
fuck, dude.
I gotta be real. Let's be real. Hold on. Exaggerated estimate of one's own importance. No, I don't have that. I am accurate to who I am. I'm very self-reflecting, but I'm not like, I don't think I'm crazy, but I'm like, yo, I got a fucking crazy, fucking awesome wife. I got 2 great kids. I got an amazing career. I got 3 amazing podcasts. I got a special coming out on Netflix. It's my 6th fucking special. I realize that's wild, cool shit. But I don't go like, but I'm the best. I'm not the best. Like, I know I can name right now.
Extra doubt, honestly, this fucking guy, man. Oh, yeah. So full of shit.
Can you name 10 comics? Name 10. I'll go back and forth.
Let's go
10
through.
comics that are way better than we are. Ready?
No, I don't know.
Go,
10.
go,
I don't know
go.
10.
No, I'll go 1. You go.
I know.
Let's do 5.
Oh, 5.
Okay, yeah.
Who's better? Let me start.
Okay.
Tim Dillon.
Oh, not him. No, I'm kidding.
Hey.
By the way, he's not kidding. Already, you see how he said, oh, I've got an amazing life. I know I'm not the best. Immediately, Bobby Lee mentions Tim Dillon, who I think isn't even that good of a stand-up. I think he's way more funny on the podcast. I love Tim Dillon. I literally pay for his Patreon. I don't pay for a bunch of people's Patreon, but I actually legitimately pay for his Patreon. I think it's really fucking worthwhile. I think he's not even funny as a stand-up, or as funny compared to his podcast. But he's definitely funnier than Bert. And immediately, at the first suggestion, he's already doubting. Actually, it's like, bruv, Tim Dillon is way funnier than you. Whether on pods or on the fucking stage. It's not even a competition. It's not even close. He's way funnier. And he's already doubting. So all of that thing about being humble, about being self-aware, about thinking there's many people out there better than him, but he has an amazing life, and he's appreciative, already full of absolute caca, doo-doo, at the first hurdle. Tim Dillon, not too sure actually. What?
Oh, this is going to be tough.
Is Tom better than you?
No, not him. Fuck.
And again, he's not joking. He's not joking.
Tom?
Fuck. What's the guy?
Yeah.
What's the guy? Fucking Dynamite. What's that guy?
Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker's better than
No.
All right, this is a bad one. Keep going.
Let's go real.
No, but I don't want to go real because then our friends are going to get upset if we didn't mention their names. Shane Gillis.
Yeah, there we go.
Already, the Shane Gillis thing. whoever mentioned it, that's a really good observation. He definitely has some sort of issue. I'm not too sure is it because Shane Gillis didn't kiss the ring, or maybe because he feels like he was responsible for his career, maybe in a weird parallel, maybe in a weird fucked up way. Maybe Bert thinks Shane Gillis is trying to copy him or something. You know how comedians are strange. Maybe because he sees Shane drinking and doing the thing that he does, he thinks Shane copies him. I don't know, but there's definitely something weird going on with Bert and his relationship with Shane Gillis. He's very jealous of him. And I'm not too sure, like, jealous and envious. Like, I'm not sure what's going on there. There's something going on.
All right, so the second one, expecting praise for minimal work, even none at all.
That's most guys.
That's most guys.
When you're,
I don't think that's most guys. I think, you know what I mean? I don't think most guys expect praise for minimal or no work. I think that for some reason is a very particular thing you see in these stand-up comedians, especially these podcasters. I don't know what it is, but they seem to have this common trait of wanting to be like acknowledged, adored, exalted, put on a fucking pedestal. They really like it. Some of them will say they don't, but they really do. You can tell by their actions.
No.
Like if I do the dishes, I'm like, yo, have you been in the kitchen yet?
Yeah.
Because there's something special in there waiting for you. And then she just sees no dishes in there and goes, I don't see it. And I go, are you fucking kidding me? Take a look in the sink. She goes, there's nothing in there. I go, exactly.
I've done this, right? I sold out the Sacramento Punchline and there's only 10 people there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what that is?
no, that's you saying, quote, to your ex-girlfriend, bitch, I cuddled you for 20 minutes.
And then what?
And then she's like, yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
That was a good bomb. I enjoyed that bomb. I'm not going to lie. I really did enjoy that bomb. Random bomb for somebody in the studio. You know, everyone in the studio now, producers, instead of just producing the show or providing a good background laugh track, they're all trying to be comedians themselves. It wouldn't surprise me if everyone in the Tiger Belly studio does stand-up, you know? That also might signal the death of stand-up comedy podcasts. Before producers did their job, they were very good at Googling, very quick at getting things up on the screen. They also made sure the audio was great. They put up episodes on time. They added timestamps, and they provided a good laugh track, like how Nadiv used to do on the fucking Your Mum's House. But now all these producers, they want to be fucking comedians. They want to get into ha ha hee hees. So they end up telling jokes, and they bomb. One more time, I want to repeat that. That's really good.
No, that's you saying, quote, to your ex-girlfriend, bitch, I cuddled you for 20 minutes.
And then what?
And then she's like, yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay. I literally don't understand it, but let's go to the next.
All right,
Maybe that's a part of it.
We can just skip the next one. That's a yes for me.
Wait, I want to read
Never mind.
Preoccupied with success, with needed to be. Yeah, that's. I have that too.
I have that. I'm obsessed
Could need to be
with
great
success.
for the
Oh, you have 4 for sure. And let's move.
Craving power.
Yeah.
Craving power.
Hold on. Being preoccupied with success and the need to be great. I don't think they are preoccupied with the need to be great. I think they care about success. They all care about money. Whenever you listen to podcasts, especially stand-up comedians, they have a weird obsession with talking about how much money everyone gets. I think the only time you hear these guys talking about funny stuff, like writing funny jokes, is when they start. I think every comedy podcast, when it first started out, the comedians will speak about writing jokes, trying to be funny. Oh my God, I watched this special. That guy said an amazing joke. I re-listened to this fucking comedian. I re-listened to that comedian that died. I was checking out that podcast. I saw this video that was really funny. But the more famous they get, the more successful they get, now they start talking about money and about ticket sales and about going on tour and gates and receipts. So I don't really think they care about being great. I don't think any of these comedians, maybe I don't know, maybe with the exception of Schultz, maybe, who talks about wanting to be great, like and wanting to be a legend type of thing. They don't really care. They just care about making money. Like they care about being on that Forbes top 10 highest touring comedian things, which, you know, is what it is. Whatever your motivations. But I wonder if that has contributed to how terrible everyone is at stand-up. No one cares about being great. Everyone just cares about being successful.
Power.
You have it.
I didn't always, but now I do.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Only wanting to be around highly status or high achieving people. No, look, I hang out with Pete all the time.
He works for you.
Yeah, okay.
If
never
you
mind.
didn't pay him, he would never be found. Okay.
He would never.
I
be found.
was a slam to Pete.
Yeah.
I was expecting a bigger laugh on that. I was hoping you'd go, look at who I hang out with.
Yeah, I have lunch with losers like these guys earlier. But anyway, guys.
But yeah, Bert is definitely one of those type of people. He definitely loves being around high status or high achieving people. 100%.
I don't care about status anymore.
Requiring lots
lots of attention and praise from those around them.
Yep.
I'm taking a bath in that one. I really need.
I'm
praise
drowning in that
and
one.
attention.
I think I'm drowning in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a sea.
Oh,
of
there's
that,
more.
There's got to be. Okay. Entitled behavior. You have that.
I got it.
I got it too.
Yeah, it's called being famous. Keep going.
All right.
I don't think that's true, by the way. I don't think every famous person is entitled. I think that's definitely a common thing that you see with stand-up comedians, and especially with Bert Kreischer. Especially with fucking Bert Kreischer. Mr. Entitled himself, especially with him.
Okay, expecting special. Like if you're at a restaurant, I've done this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I'm at a restaurant and I sign up for. They don't know me, and I sign up to be on the list, and then I see another people get in faster than me. I lose my shit. I'll show them my Instagram fucking followers, everything. You know what I mean? Okay.
That's understandable to a certain extent. If you're signing up and you've got to see, everyone does that. But I think everyone gets angry at that. It happens all the time. You go to a restaurant, you book a table, and then somebody else comes after you and gets seated first. It's always going to sting. Me personally, I've got a big thing. One of my triggers is people cutting in queues, and that sort of preferential treatment. I'm always going to fly off the handle. So I understand why he says that. But what Bert's about to say is fucking wild, and definitely describes and definitely represents him to a T. What Bert's about to say that he does. What Bobby Lee says, I get it, I understand. What Bert's about to say is insane.
I'll tell you, this is how bad I am.
What?
I was with my parents.
Yeah.
I was with my parents, and we were trying to get somewhere. We're going to a Bucks game.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I said this. Pete, were you in the car with us when we went to the Bucks game with my parents? Yeah. And we were pulling up. And they're like, Dad, this is VIP entrance. I go, we should be good. And they're like, no, it's just VIP. We don't have the pass. I go, roll the window down. Let them see my face.
Fucking hell. Which marries up to, do you remember early on? I remember when I was watching, maybe it was Tiger, maybe it was Bert Cast, maybe it was Your Mum's House, maybe it was Two Beds, One Cave. But I remember early on, Tom Segura used to complain that one of the reasons why he didn't like to go on tour with Bert was that he would sometimes purposely walk into places with his top off, hoping people recognize him. Or just generally, usually, I guess with Tom, because he's a little bit antisocial, he'll be trying to scully away, right? Sneak away, wear a hat, be incognito. Bert would be talking loudly and walking into spaces in the hopes that people would recognize him. Like making a detour to a bar, quickly walking in there, acting like he's looking for something, and then people recognize him. And it's like, hey, it's Bert, all that sort of shit. So now we know that that's true. Because even with his fucking parents, even with his family, he's going around, lowering down the windows, hoping some guy recognizes him so he can get preferential treatment. Fucking nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Hang on. How often does hang on, for real. How often does that work, Pete?
We've done it 3 times with me in the car.
How many times has it worked?
3 times.
Fucking works every time.
Yeah.
It's my demographic. There's the guys running a fucking parking lot.
It's funny. It's his demographic. Regular dudes who he doesn't really have anything in common with apart from drinking alcohol. I wonder if that's the reason why he won't quit. Not that he loves it, not that it's part of his identity, but it's the only thing that he has that relates to the common everyday person. And because he LARPs as a regular working class guy, a regular middle class guy, not working class, if he takes that away and he gets fit and he works out and gets healthy, he will just look like every other fucking, lacking in self-awareness, detached from reality comedian out there. Maybe the alcohol grounds him. Maybe the booze, maybe the alcoholism grounds him and makes him feel like a regular, normal human being. Imagine that.
Can I say something that happened the other day?
Yeah.
It was crazy. So it was literally not my fault. I was driving down Ventura, and this man who happens to be black just swipes my car. But I swerved enough where it didn't do any damage to but his whole, the rear view window was gone. The side mirror.
Yeah. Side window, yeah.
And I just went, you know what? It's his fault for sure. So I'm just going to move on and kept driving. But he followed me in his car for like a couple blocks and was doing his lights. You know what I mean? So I pulled over. He goes, motherfucker. You know. He goes, motherfucker, you fucking. I go, I didn't. And he goes, you're Bobby Lee. I go, yeah. And it changed his energy a bit. His energy changed.
So that's the way we should look at Tom Segura's car accident recently, is that he's not worked hard enough for people to run into his car and then stop and go, oh my God, I didn't know you were Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
By the way, I don't know if that's true, but allegedly Tom Segura got his car crashed into, and the person that did it drove away, which I think is brilliant, by the way, because he insults regular people, because he looks down on people so much. It's fucking poetic karmic justice that some random person re-ended Tom Segura and instead of exchanging details just drove away. I fucking love it. Yo, big up Ashley Cummins in the chat. Wagwan to Ashley. Wagwan. Yeah, they love being recognized. Exactly. Which I think is bizarre. I think you're at least meant to pretend you don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. There is something kind of gross about enjoying being recognized, like enjoying being like being obsessed with fame that much, because it's gross in the same way it's gross as those kids on TikTok are. You know those kids on TikTok that are obsessed with fucking fame and followers and shit, and they cry if they lose a couple grand followers and they got millions of followers. It's just as bad when these grown-ass men are acting like TikTokers. I don't like it. They're obsessed. Like there was a time when I kind of appreciated Bert's honesty for how fame hungry he is, but I also think it's very gross to be that age, nearly 60 years old, and you're obsessed with fame that much. Like, please, especially to the detriment of your fucking craft. If you're a Bert fan, it must piss you off because he spends way more time thinking of marketing ideas, thinking of ideas of how to go viral, than thinking of clever fucking stand-up special names, as opposed to actually writing good jokes, putting on a good show. You know, it's not really all of that. So fuck all that shit. Big up MM in the chat as well. What do you say here? The only thing about Bert that ever made him tolerable was knowing that he was a loser. Now it's just Captain Big Head. That's actually a good point. That's a really good point. In the beginning, that was part of his brand. The whole everyman thing, and also the fact that, oh, I'm just an idiot. I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm just trying to, you know, that lovable drunk. That was part of his charm, like, you know, like the uncle that we all know, right? During family gatherings, that gets a little bit loose, he gets a little bit dumb. But now he's starting to take himself seriously. Now he thinks he's an entrepreneur. Now he thinks he's a fucking, you know, a magnate. Now he thinks he's a businessman. Now he thinks he's a fucking, you know, philosopher or whatever else, marketing genius. And it's now becoming a little bit like, okay, bro, let's relax. You know, you're a bit of a hack anyway. You're one of Rogan's friends, so that kind of doesn't really count in terms of success on what you got because he's a bit of a cheat code. Let's just relax a little bit with smelling our own farts, you know? Let's relax a little bit, please. But I'm going to spare you. That's the end of the Bobby Lee and Bert thing. I'm going to spare you any more abuse vis-a-vis Bert. I'm sure you're going to get way more when Podcast Cringe tears through this and other appearances that Bert's got. So I'm going to spare you. And we're going to jump